Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is me Aditi. I hope all of you guys are doing well. So in today's video, I will be comparing two concealers side by side, and these are the concealer which is like all over the market. Everyone is talking about these two concealers. So I thought why not, share my opinion about these concealer and also compare both these concealers side by side. All the points about these concealer like the price point, the packaging, the coverage, the finish and everything about these two concealers. And the concealers that I'm going to be talking to you guys about are these. So this is a Swiss Beauty liquid concealer, and on the other side I will be comparing it with the Inside 2X Master Cover concealer. So yeah, if you guys want to know what I feel about these concealers and which one I personally like more, then please continue watching. But before that, if you like the content and if you like the vibe here, then make sure to subscribe to my channel. That means a lot to me. So yeah, now let's get started. Let's begin with the first thing, which is very basic, that is the packaging. So that is how both the concealer looks like. Let me talk to you guys about the inside concealer. So you get a clear jar, and you can see the concealer shade from here, and you get a white cap with this concealer, and the packaging looks quite nice and sturdy. It's not at all cheap quality. On the other side, if I talk about the Swiss Beauty concealer packaging, you get a frosted jar and a black cap. And again, the packaging looks very nice and sturdy. This again doesn't look cheap at all. Packaging wise, I like both the concealer. I don't have anything very bad or very good to say about these. Now let's talk about the price point. So the Inside concealer retails for 110 bucks, and on the other side the Swiss Beauty concealer retails for 229 rupees. So you can say that the Swiss Beauty concealer is nearly double the price of the Inside concealer. Now let me show you the applicators of both these concealers. So in Inside concealer, you get a flat applicator, so you get a lot of amount of product in just one go. So if you don't like to dip again and again in your bottle, you would definitely enjoy using this one. On the other side, if I talk about the Swiss Beauty concealer, you get a very basic doe foot applicator that you get in most of the concealers, and this also is very easy to use close to your eyes, like under your eyes. And both these applicators goes very close to inner corners, and it's very easy to apply concealer with both these applicators. Before I start swatching these concealers on my hand or on my face, I want to say one thing very clearly, that the shades are very different from one another. So we are not going to compare these concealer on the basis of their shades, because these are going to look different side by side, but we are going to talk about all the other aspect of these concealers. So in Inside concealer, I have the shade 03 Golden Sand, and in the Swiss Beauty concealer, I have the shade 05 Medium Moyen. So Inside concealer is very close to my skin tone, so it really helps me to cancel out any kind of discoloration, darkness, dark spots, acne scarring, anything of that sort. And when I want to make my skin like even toned, I like to use this concealer. On the other side, if I talk about the Swiss Beauty concealer, this one is, I would say, 1 or 2 shade lighter than my skin tone, so this one works for me as a brightening concealer. So the shades are very different. That's why I told you first that this one works for me to cancel out the darkness, and this one works for me to brighten up my face. I'm going to apply these concealers side by side so that you can see the difference, the coverage, the consistency and everything, and how these blends and everything on my face. So let's begin with the Inside concealer. I am going to apply this on the areas where I have a little bit of darkness, especially around my eyes. So I'm just going to dot this close to my inner corner and my outer corner, and I will start by blending it with my fingertip, so that I can show you guys that this concealer blends very easily with the fingertip as well, and you can see how easily this is getting blended. Now on the other side, I am going to be applying the Swiss Beauty concealer in the same way, just 2 dots close to my inner corner and on my outer corner, so that it gives a little bit of lift to my face. And again, I'm just gonna use my fingertip to blend this out, and you can see this one also is getting blended quite easily. Now you can see the concealer side by side, and you can see how beautiful these looks. These blended very easily, and you can definitely see the coverage, and that's why I wanted to show you guys the coverage. So the Swiss Beauty concealer, you get a really nice medium to buildable full coverage. You can clearly see that on my eyes, right? And if I talk about the Inside concealer, this one is a very sheer coverage concealer. Definitely build it up, but you would not be getting a full coverage effect with this one. You can just get a medium coverage look, but with the Swiss Beauty concealer, you will be able to get a full coverage look. So you can use the Swiss Beauty concealer for your party wear makeup looks and the inside concealer for your everyday makeup looks. If I talk about the finish of both these concealers, so with the inside concealer you get a really nice natural dewy finish, and this feels very lightweight on the face, on your skin. This feels like literally nothing. Sometimes I just apply this concealer on the areas where I have little bit of darkness, and that's it. And this gives a really nice even toned skin all over my face, and this feels very lightweight. On the other side, Swiss Beauty concealer again feels very lightweight and blends very easily, but the finish I would say is not super dewy and not super matte. This is like in between. You can say the demi matte finish you would be getting with the Swiss Beauty concealer, and a really beautiful dewy finish with the inside concealer. So I've shown you how this concealer looks on the bare skin. Now I'm going to show you how this concealer, applies and blends on top of my makeup. So I've applied my foundation all over my face, and now I'm going to apply these concealers side by side on top of my foundation. So starting off with the inside concealer, I am again going to dot it close to my eyes and close to my mouth as well, where I have little bit of, pigmentation or hyperpigmentation, any kind of, dark spots. So I'm just going to apply it on those areas, and then I will be using my damp beauty blender to blend it out. And you can see how gorgeous this looks on the skin. This doesn't feel heavy at all. This looks absolutely stunning and blends so easily on the skin. Now on the other side, I will be using the Swiss Beauty concealer in the same order, just dotting it close to my inner corner and outer corner, and exactly in the same way close to my mouth as well, to cover up the hyperpigmentation. Now, as I said, that the shades are very different from one another, so my face is gonna look a little different on both these sides because of the shades, but I am just gonna show you how these blends and how these looks on the skin. And you can see this one again is blending quite easily with the beauty blender and gives a lot more coverage as compared to the inside concealer. You can see side by side the coverage of both these concealer. The side of inside concealer looks very, not that covered up. The darkness is still a little bit peeking through, but on the side of Swiss Beauty you can see it's completely covered, and there's no darkness whatsoever is peeking through, and looks quite full coverage and beautiful. Now I'm going to use both these concealer on my lids, and I'm going to show you if these concealer actually can work as a eyeshadow base. So on my one lid I will be applying the Swiss Beauty concealer, and on my other lid I will be applying the inside concealer. I'm going to blend it quickly with my damp beauty blender, and I'm going to use the same eyeshadow and the same brush to test this out, if the eyeshadow looks exactly the same, and how the eyeshadow is gonna blend on top of these concealers. So I'm gonna start off with the inside concealer eyeshadow side, and you can see the eyeshadow is getting blended quite easily, and the pigment also is peeking through really nicely. It looks quite beautiful and nice. On the other side, I will be applying the same shade with the same brush on the Swiss Beauty concealer, and this on this side the eyeshadow looks a little more pigmented and it's popping a little better. This could be because of the shade of the concealers, because the Swiss Beauty concealer is little lighter, and that is why the eyeshadow is popping a little better. That's what I feel. If I use same light shade from the inside concealer, eyeshadow would pop equally good. That's what I feel, because the blendability on both of these concealers, the blendability of eyeshadow on both of these concealers are like exactly the same. Eyeshadow is getting blended very easily. You can see that's how my eyeshadow looks after the full look, and both these concealer worked very beautifully as a eyeshadow primer. So I really love both these concealer. I completely forgot to tell you guys the quantity that you get in both these concealers. So in Swiss Beauty concealer you get 5.6 gram of the product. On the other side, with the inside concealer you get 6 ml of the product, so just a little more as compared to the Swiss Beauty concealer. And in both these concealer you get 6 shades, which is not a very good shade range, but yeah, in both these concealer you get different 6 shades. They definitely need to work on their shade range. They definitely need to get more lighter and more darker shades. These are the shades which is like very good for medium skin tones, but for very light skin girls or very dusky girls, there are no shades as such. So I would definitely be very happy if they get more shades, because the concealers are really good. Now if I talk about the oxidization, like if these concealer actually oxidizes, So yes, both these concealer oxidize just a little, but literally like just a tiny bit. I tested that out in the morning. I swatched these concealers side by side, and I just left the concealer for 10 minutes, and then I applied, swatched the concealer again, and I could see that both these concealer oxidized one shade darker. So yeah, that's what I can say, that these concealer oxidizes just a little bit. So if you like, you can go ahead and get a one shade lighter. The shade that you want to take, just go ahead and get a shade one shade lighter, so that if even if this oxidizes, you get a perfect match. The last thing that I think is very important to know is the staying power of these concealers. So I would say the Swiss Beauty concealer stays for good 5 to 6 hours on your skin. And if I talk about the inside concealer, this also stays for good 4 to 5 hours on your skin. So yeah, I think I have covered almost everything about these concealers, and I really hope you guys found this video helpful. I personally love both these concealers. It completely depends on the kind of look I am going for. If I'm going for a very full glam party wear look, I would definitely be going for the Swiss Beauty concealer, and if I'm going for a very natural everyday kind of a makeup look, I would be going for the inside concealer. So I just love both these concealer depending on the kind of look you are going for. So yeah, I really hope you guys found this video helpful and enjoyed watching this. If you did, then make sure to like this video and also subscribe to my channel. That means a lot to me. I will see you guys very soon in my next video. Till then, stay safe, stay at home. I love you guys all so much. Bye.